I have a question. I'm definitely veering into territory that I've never really explored. Just like really tough territory. And I it's so hard to write about these things just because it's how do you not I'm fighting falling into these things very easily fall into tropes, and I'm fighting not falling into tropes and not falling into the therapy of it, or like trying to like justify, like, I know you think it's this but it's really not this, and the more you say it's really not this, the more everybody's going, oh, it's so that. Is there any approach when you're coming into super sensitive uh, stuff that can very easily be, oh, I know what that is, without falling into like a therapeutic? Because I personally do not respond to that whiny thing, So I'm trying to frame it in a way that's just as it is and not as people expect it to be. But it's coming off as a little therapy ish. And I'm not a therapist or an expert. So I don't want to. Do you have any tools on how to remove that aspect of it, or fight that aspect of it?
It's such a good question. Um, you know, nobody's actually saying anything to you, Carmen. So those voices are that's you talking to yourself, right? So I think that you have to just get it all down, and then you can zhuzh it away from something you don't want it to be. But the fact that you're that whole dance in your head, and I hope I'm saying this sensitively, because it's really common. That's a kind of um that's like, the bondage of self, right? That's some kind of person in you that's terrorizing another person in you. Okay. So um so um I think you want to be conjuring a different audience in your head, like someone who says more, say more, Carmen, say more. You like need more permission. Be more therapize, Carmen. Like go lean into the
All
thing
the
that
way
you're
in.
you're terrified that you might be doing, or that you're like
Yeah.
grossed out that you might be doing. Get it, and just play. And I think the thing about what you said about tropes, like, okay, I'm writing about something that I'm writing about a theme that many other people have written about. The whole point is that, like, it's like the Greeks. If we studied the Greeks, like, there's only a certain number of themes, and it's really just about like getting into your version of this. What are the details that, if you're, let's just say you're writing about, um, you know, if you're writing about love, what are the little details that only you would have noticed or would notice, getting into your idiosyncratic telling of it. And the thing that you always have to remember about, like, because sometimes people say, well, oh, there's so many divorce memoirs. That's just as an example. What if, I don't want to just write yet another divorce memoir. It's like, you're forgetting that you're further along in whatever topic than your audience is, or than an audience is, and they are literally like begging for it and getting released and getting enlightened and having their psychic load lightened by you writing about it. And you're not going to understand that until it's all on the page and it's reaching its intended, the right audience. The audience for your work is not the people saying, oh, that trope, she's writing about that. Oh, gosh, everybody's already done it, or whatever. That's just not the audience. I hope that's some of that's helpful.
I no, I think it's very helpful because I was raised very much with walk it off, kid.
Mm.
So I think just identifying the bondage of self and the audience, I think is incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard this guy talk about he was a veteran, a war veteran, and he was gay, and he wrote something that everybody loved about that experience. Rave reviews, productions everywhere. And then he went like deeper and darker into it for his next thing. And a lot of the people who loved the first thing were not happy. And he talked about Tennessee Williams, that there are these Tennessee Williams plays that whatever, they're like the,
Yeah.
and then, but Tennessee Williams got weird with some of his later work, and people felt like, oh, it's too much. And he said that as an editor and as a writer, he's interested in the it's too much. That's too much. So, and I thought that was very emboldening when he said that. And
Yeah.
so for people like yourself, you shared that, walk it off, kid. Like, that's not your audience, Um, and you going into the it's too much territory, that's right where you're supposed to be, my friend, as an artist.
Yeah.
So good work.
Thank you. The great
Um,
answer. That's very helpful. Thank you,
okay,
Lizzie.
good. All right, we're done. We'll see you next week, and hopefully